Welcome back, Slayers. We have to talk about the ultimate Solar Warlock build for Legend Onslaught. The Mountaintop and Midnight Coop entering our brave weapon loot pool this week. You're gonna need a build capable of turning the tides of battle. Learn anything today, be sure to spank that like button and subscribe as Ty1slayer is fast approaching 1,000 YouTube subscribers. Now firstly, let me tell you what you need to have at your disposal to achieve a similar build result, starting with our ad clear portion, featuring Dawn Chorus, weapons, Riptide. Now it says field prep plus chill clip. Chill clip's a must-have to satisfy the overload champion. Here you'll see we absolutely wreck this overload due to our scorch stacks creating an ignition from our featured exotic, as well as chill clip finishing the job. Sunshot is our powerhouse for this build, satisfies the unstoppable champions, allows us to make use of these busted artifacts this season, as well as spread more scorch, allowing for these ignitions to pop off. Now at Sunblast, any targets defeated with Sunshot, they explode in solar energy, scorching other nearby targets. For the heavy slot, we go with Edge Transit, Envious Assassin, and Bait and Switch. Heavy slot is super flexible, so do have some fun with it, but anything bait and switch to give us that extra bump in damage during those augment waves. And our featured exotic, Dawn Chorus, benefits provided are as follows. Daybreak projectiles deal more damage and scorch targets on impact. Your scorch is improved and you gain a small amount of melee energy when your scorch damages a target. In today's gameplay, as everyone is running a mandatory Void Orphis Rig Hunter for tether and extra orbs, this greatly benefits any build you take into Onslaught. Just thought I'd throw that out there. The meta, so to speak, so without tether, you'll notice a lack of potential in areas since it inflates everything. The busted artifacts we have at our disposal this season really makes the solar build shine as well. Unstoppable hand cannons, kindling trigger, radiant causes solar weapons to apply scorch to unscorched combatants. This is huge. We have flint striker, rapid solar weapon precision hits, rapid solar weapon final blows grant radiant. You torch while radiant, deal increased weapon damage to combatants affected by strand and stasis debuffs in case, via your fire team or LFG, anyone's running strand or stasis. Stacking up chill clip with our Riptide as well makes the artifact work perfectly. And Heart of the Flame, casting your solar super grants nearby allies radiant, increases the damage of your super for each nearby ally. Revitalizing Blast, causing damage with a solar ability weakens champions and bosses for a short duration. Rays of Precision, while radiant, solar precision final blows cause combatants to ignite. Now on paper, this build is super fun. When going into this Solar Warlock build, I wanted to make a build that required the most active play style possible. We landed on Dawn Chorus, but what is the solar subclass? How did we set up our fragments? Obviously for the super ability, Daybreak, we do Phoenix Dive here because it has the lowest cooldown. While Heat Rises is active, you gain Restoration. While diving, you scorch targets upon landing. Go with Burst Glide to keep the mobility good for that strong initial boost of speed. Incinerator Snap, because it explodes and scorches targets. Thermite Grenade for more scorch, which works well with our exotic. For the aspects, Icarus Dash. While Heat Rises is active, if you decide to consume your grenade, you get an additional dodge. Here, more importantly, while airborne, when we rapidly defeat targets with super or weapons, we get Cure. And then we run Heat Rises. When you consume your grenade, in this case it'll be the Thermite, it'll be just a small burst of healing. If you consume a Cure grenade, the bonus will be increased. But here the main takeaway is, while airborne, we get melee energy on any final blows, with the addition to increase the duration of Heat Rises, but mainly for that melee energy. As you'll see here, we're able to just get the melee energy back instantly to keep further snapping on them and scorching them. It's a higher value due to Dawn Chorus. Pair those up with the Thermite Grenade, everything is scorched and the ignitions are happening more often. Now based on our fragments, we do Ember of Combustion. Final blows with Solar Super causes targets to ignite and creates a fire sprite. When you pick up a fire sprite, they grant grenade energy. Ember of Searing, defeating scorched targets grants melee energy and creates a fire sprite. Once again, everything is scorched, even more melee energy gain, also getting plus 10 recovery. An Ember of Wonder, rapidly defeating multiple targets with solar ignitions, generates an overpower, and plus 10 resilience. Lastly, Ember of Beams, your solar super projectiles have stronger target acquisition, plus we get another 10 intellect. If you don't care for Ember of Beams, you can throw on Ember of Eruption, which will make your solar ignitions have increased area of effect. Depending on kind of the content you're doing, right? Most of the enemies are packed up anyways, so you really don't need Ember of Eruption. You then could do Ember of Blistering. Defeating targets with solar ignitions grants grenade energy. Now really quick, gear-wise, we want at the bare minimum 100 recovery to keep that Phoenix dive coming back, then close to 100 resil as best as possible, then either 100 discipline or 100 intellect if possible. I like to pump everything into intellect, shave off that super time as much as possible. It's only a small few second difference, so I would say if you're not making enough, you then switch over your fragments around, pump it into discipline to get the grenade back faster. That's the general thing there, and I quickly want to go over the gear. This do as it adds need basis, more flexible room here. I like to run power preservation because any super final blows create extra orbs of power for our allies, which will help us a lot, especially if we have a void. Tether Hunter, using Orpheus Rig on our team, this will help them out as well. We do not run a Harmonic Siphon because we don't need it due to our fragment. And then have an as-need basis if in the match you come back after boss DPS, you switch back to your ad clear. You can throw on 2 heavy ammo finders until you top off your heavy or your special ammo, and then just throw your power preservation back on. For your gauntlets, run grenade kickstart, so when you expend that grenade energy, consume all that armor charge you have to get more grenade energy back. We then run focusing strike because we're going to get more class ability energy when we cause damage with that powered melee attack, which we're going to be using quite a bit, provided we rotate through the skills properly. Then we just throw on fastball for that extra grenade throw distance during any DPS phase. Chest armor here, we double up on charged up to increase that maximum armor charge count. And then I just throw on a harmonic resistance just to use the slot. On our legs, we run recuperation, replenish health each time you pick up an orb of power. It's huge here. As well as elemental charge, collecting a fire sprite, relating chance to give you armor charge. Then lastly, orbs of restoration, picking up an orb of power, grants a small amount of energy to your ability with the least energy. In class item, we run double bombers, reduce grenade cooldown when using your class ability, which we'll be using quick because it's Phoenix dive with that under a minute cooldown. Lastly, Reaper, shortly after using your class ability, your next weapon final blow will spawn an orb of power. Boss DPS, we switch over to Phoenix Protocol to keep that well up for the team. Being able to rally before each boss. Any kills and assists you make while standing in your Well of Radiance returns super energy. Because I don't have the catalyst for Leviathan, we put Void Reserves, otherwise put Unflinchings, any reduced AoE damage. Again, another as-need basis. For boss DPS, precision weapons will do the trick. Things like Whisper the Worm, Sleeper Simulant, any linear fusions. We even have people use rockets that seem to perform rather well. Me personally, I like to stick to the precision weapons. We also run Succession top slot. Here we have a Demolitionist role, as well as Redirection. And then we're covered by our Summoner with Subsidence, Onslaught, or we can switch over to Incandescent. Easy work, communicate with your team if possible, take it slow, smash through those 50 legendary waves. Hey, you made it to the end. Thank you guys so much for the continued support on these recent uploads. We're getting our feet wet in this genre, doing these educational guides, giving you guys the sauce you need to smash through all types of content. Let me know how you guys like Onslaught down below. Leave any build recommendations below. The next build we'll probably take a look at will be another Warlock build, probably more focused on Arc though. Let's see what we can cook up there. If you guys would like to come hang out on stream, where we're doing Whisper the Worm carries, as well as legendary Onslaught carries, head on over to twitch.tv/Ty1slayer. Stream Monday through Fridays at 9 AM EST. Let's hang out and stream. First come, first served. And do remember to slay and conquer. I'm gonna let the rest of this little boss fight play out. I really quick want to come back on here. 900 kills, 247 orbs created, guys. This is a full-on carry with this beast Solar Warlock build. So do make sure you guys give it a spin and let me know what you think of it down below.